I got disconnected for 30 minutes.
Okay, good. Because we were spending a lot of time with other students. But
Okay, so good morning, sir. This is my first scheme. So my first scheme is more for the people, and it's also nature oriented. As you can see, with the very huge open spaces. I mean, um, abundant open spaces, and then um, as you can see here, people can access the building footprint like right away because there's also like more pavements, walkways that will lead to the building, and then I guess like the people can also use the open space or plaza area to have some leisure time over here, and
mm,
then and then and then here in like I think there's another pedestrian crossing from what I remember and what I saw in Google Maps and in the
mm,
video. Yeah, so people can also pass by here in the middle, and then they can like spend time here in the open space, and then they can just cross and they can cross this pedestrian lane with race crossings. This is a race crossing because it's a double line, and then they
mm,
can go to the building footprint. And then for this scheme circ, I focus more on yeah, it's really for the people, which is why like there's not much roads. So the roads that I have here, I have a taxi and private vehicle drop off and arrival area, and then the broken lines indicate that like you can park there, so private vehicles or taxis can park in the broken line, and then the middle line is like for kanang it's like a driveway long jud.
mm,
So I think it's kind of like the airport. Now, like the middle is like you can drive, and then the sides it's like you can park. And
mm,
then I have a separate parking area because for me, sir, I mean, even though you said na you can just ignore the parking, I think it's essential for mga PWDs or like
mm,
or yeah, I think it's just important that like they're very close to the building, and so
mm.
that they don't have to walk like a very long distance just to reach the terminal. So that's why I allocated some gas parking slots here. So there's two
Okay.
PWD, um and then seven regular parking spaces. And then, so my buses and the staff, they enter through the 20-meter road over here, and then they just like circle around like Mershag U-turn. So the arrival first, and then there's a covered arrival platform, and then you go to the departure base, and then they can just exit there. And then I decided to uh, include the staff parking here, like to mix it with the buses, because I don't think the staff will like move a lot because
Mm,
they're going to be working in the building, Raman. So I don't think they're going to disrupt kaayo the traffic for the buses.
mm,
And then there's a bus parking area, so they can just go straight to the bus parking, and then I think there's enough clearance for the bus to backing, and then just turn back there. And then same thing for this one. And
yeah.
then here there's a maintenance and bus conductor staff area or like maintenance shop, something like that. And then here I also put a guardhouse in the vehicle entry and exit so they can regulate um, the buses and the
Mm,
people who will come in. And yeah, I have open spaces here at the side, like in the perimeter, so that all sides will have vegetation. And
okay, good.
then
And
and
then,
then here,
sorry,
ah,
Sarah, but you can just like make it a bit more general explanation because like napigit as a time.
oh, I'm very sorry, sir.
Okay,
Okay,
good,
okay.
okay, good.
I'll make this a bit faster. So in the second scheme, sir, because I mean, and in the second scheme, I focus more on like the vehicle traffic because I want it to be functional and multimodal, and but also accessible at the same time. So people can still cross here, and then there's like parking slots, and then you can just enter through here. Cars can enter through here or here, and then there's a taxi private vehicle drop off area. So this is just for drop off, and then this part is just for arrival. So this is the feeder for arrival. And there's a covered arrival pickup area. And then there's another guardhouse here. And then buses enter through the 3 meter road because I think they come from the North Man, and then they just go straight, and then I think it's easier for them instead of like turning here and then going there. So
Yes.
and then they exit
Uh,
back and then go back to the north there.
yes.
And then
Just a big question here. Why is there such a big U-turn there? Is that to separate the 10 arrivals and 10 departures?
yes, maybe I can remove it na lang because I think it's kind of hard for them to backing square.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
sayang too na you have to like make a big turn. Okay. Anything else on
Yeah.
the scheme?
Uh, I have staff parking that's separated. Also, this one is different because I really separated all of the driveways, like the drop off and then the arrival and then the staff parking. And
It's
then
more
also,
segregated.
yes, it's more segregated here, but I have less open space.
Oh
So
yeah,
there's really
because you have
little
more roads.
goods. Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Sige. Okay. Just quick notes here. Um, for me, immediately scheme one looks a lot better. Also because like scheme two is very kind of segregated. Scheme one is a lot more uniform, and like there's some the weird U-turn thing. Really, I don't like. And then
Sorry, sir.
yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Like we wouldn't know what would be possible if you didn't draw it. So it's good that you explored it, and so we now know what not to do. So um, the layout of schema is already pretty much defined there. My only note here is I'll take a snip of scheme one over here.
All
I'll
right.
share my screen in a bit. Okay, I'll share my screen. So I have to go a bit faster to get to the other students.
It's all
Um,
right, sir.
two. It's recorded man po, so hopefully magamit po tong discussions from before. Okay. Am I sharing my screen?
Yes, sir, I see it.
Okay. So my only correction or note here would be any staff parking. Maybe we could relocate this in a way where it's somewhere here,
Okay, sir.
because you're closer to the building. So
Mm-mm.
this will make the staff more efficient, so they can get directly into the building. Um, and then also this would increase your like park area over here, so this can be all like green space, and you can have like
Mm-mm.
similar to what we did earlier, more retail spaces here, more kanang usable space like Subu Mercado setup, maybe another here, so this could be your Mercado 1, this could be your Mercado 2. Plus it just like really helps with the security as well. If there are people here, they're looking into the bus terminals. Also gives more activity to the people waiting for buses, and like you can have more sort of income that way because people would want to like buy food. If they don't want to buy food in the main building, they can buy food near the rival base, etc. Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Sorry, I have to go a bit fast. Okay.
That's all right.
Next.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, we'll develop that further. Vanessa.
There's hello, hello, hello.
Yep, I can hear you.
There's it, hello, sir.
Si Tolo, Russ, Deo, bitaw. Sorry, Russ, are you okay na?
Oh, sorry, sir. Tesa lang, sir, ha? Present ko.
And after this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Panis.
9 more students. Sobrang kitag 12, ani.
Nakita na, sir?
Yep, kita na.
Okay, sir. So, compare na anak ko, sir. Sa Scheme 1, sir, ang kalayan lang niya sa Scheme 2 is Sa scheme 1, ang bus entrance niya is naa sa Sergio Osmeña, while ang scheme 2 is naa sa 20-meter road. Kay I think sir sa scheme 1 kay mas dali bitaw ang pag-enter sa concert kay diri man padung ang mga vehicle. Pero I think pod sir munang gibutang nako diri sa 20-meter road kay mas mukaon og time ang pag maneuver bitaw pag mag-entrance sir padung sa building. So better siguro sir if ang entrance kay naa diri kay mas lesser ang traffic diri and also ang drop-off area nako sir sa scheme 1 is naa diri sa Sergio Osmeña kay kay diri sa ay mas nako reactivitas kay
Sorry na nabatig yun ang internet connection, Russ. Maybe I can share the screen on my end para dili maguba yung audio because I can't hear you anymore. Maputol-putol siya. Ako lang i-open sa akong end ha. Kasi lang. So that was a good let's see here. Good attempt for Osai. We have to give way to the internet. Tolo. LMNOPST. Okay. Come on, load. So again, try to keep your file submissions as low as possible. Oh my gosh, it turned black. What the heck? Yeah, so you don't need to make it super HD because this is what happens. I'll just download it.
Sorry, sir.
Yep. This is for everyone. Please make sure your file sizes are less than 10 MB kay di gud makaya ni Canvas. Or maybe submit PNGs kay PDFs really just make almost like double the file size. And you're just sharing an image. Come on. Go faster. Show in folder. Resume. Oops. Do. So loading. Okay. So again, reminder to everyone: it doesn't matter how high def your image is. If I can't open it, tabla sawa. Things to grade. I'll put this under new folder. KR3200 schematic bus terminal. Okay. And just to show you na what do they call this? Paste. System information. And just to show you, I'm not using a kanang cheapo na laptop. Let me see here. My voice is going. Where is my memory? I have total physical memory is 15 gigabytes. Installed physical memory 16 gigabytes. So this is a fast-ish laptop, or not like your cheapo laptop. So if my laptop is having trouble opening it, how much more for the teachers who are using the laptops or computers at school? So again, make sure your file sizes are manageable. You know, 29,000 KB. So, good. Imada. Matay ang computer sa ibang look at this. It's even lagging while I'm opening the PDF. There. Finally. So, oh my gosh. Ako na screenshot kaya di madag flip back and forth. This is Tolo 2. Tolo 1. Okay. And of course, it also impacts your presentation. Now, you can't present it because your file is so heavy. Downloads. Okay. Now I'll just use Photoshop for this. Okay. Ready. Okay. So Tolo 1 over here and Tolo Scheme 2 over here. And I don't think you were there, but in our previous session, um, see our student, si Jean, showed us using Google Maps information na the least busy road is actually Sergio Osmeña. Like after we look through it to Google Maps doing showing the traffic analysis, Sergio Osmeña is really the least busy road, whereas like normally the wider road would be the more busy. In this specific situation in SM City, Sergio Osmeña has kanang very fast traffic movement, meaning it's not congested, meaning it's not busy. So it's very good that the entrance in your scheme 1 is here in Sergio Osmeña. So that gives a point or a benefit for scheme 1. Scheme 2, since you mentioned the 20-meter road or the Kaohsiung Street would be less busy, that's actually false. Kaohsiung Street is probably the most busy street compared to the SM Road here and the Sergio Osmeña Road here. So immediately, Scheme 1 is a lot better than Scheme 2 because it has the right entrance. And also the drop-off area here would make a lot more sense. Now, the only problem with Scheme 1 is this kind of sort of like S movement you've got going on here. So it turns left and then it turns right again. So a good sort of compromise here would be, let's see here. How many bus parking do you have here? I think it's more than 21, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So just rearrange it better na there's really no way to make it like a complete U-turn now, no? Maybe you can reduce this here, something like that, but it'll look really ugly. So this is a bit messy. How do we clean this up? Maybe you can, let me just, I just color it in green because there's a lot of colors. Stick with scheme 1, but develop it in a way that the parking is like this. So they come in here, maybe the parking is on this side, like that. And so you don't have this arm here. So you just stick with a simple L like that. For this whole movement here of doing this is very kind of inefficient, you know. So maybe you can get this kind of set up, the U shape, but put it over here. The U-shaped parking. I don't know how you do that though. But for your specific situation, Russ, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your specific situation, nindot ang entrance sa Sergio Osmeña, pero ang parking layout sa Scheme 2 is a lot better sa parking layout sa Scheme 1. So if you can find a way to combine that, na medyo siya U na parking here, maybe you can have the entrance here na lang yun, so it can be like a clear U and you don't have this extra road here. So this road here will be kanang, what do you call this? More open space like that. And then you reduce your road road space. Maybe something like that. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So yeah, keep the parking layout of Scheme 2, but like apply it to the overall site layout of Scheme 1. Okay. Sige. We're really running out of time. Extending, even if we extend to 12, we might not finish. Anyway, next student is Vanessa. Sana all.
Hello, sir.
Vanessa, are you there? You're unmuted, pero walay sound. Yeah, I think your mic is not working. Okay, how do I do this? Maybe we can come back to you later. Let's see. I'll just skip to the next student. Let's see. After Vanessa, it's supposed to be Beatrice Owano. Beatrice. Okay, please share your screen.
Makita ra, sir.
Loading. Okay, good.
So sa first na ko nga scheme, sir, kay my access is in the katong 12 meters road.
Mhm.
I mean, at least for the mostly for the pedestrian access, and kanang access po siya sa ako ang kanang transit nga buses, sir, or like mga jeepneys if ever na mosulod nga jeepneys.
Mhm.
Because I noticed na kanang most likely people be coming in from there because na ang Radisson Hotel o SM City
Good.
and Bayfront Hotel.
Correct.
So I focus it more on the pedestrian access here. Pero akong access for vehicles mostly kay naa sa 20-meter road because it's a lot bigger and kanang di kay siya like buffer, sir, if na mosulod diri nga sakinan.
Mhm.
And Saluyo, sir, Saluyo is the Sergio Osmeña because murag when I look at it, sir, murag wala jud kay tao mosulod coming from there, so I decided to make it anang access for both arrival buses and departure buses. I mean, here ang arrival, sir, sa coach buses sa
Mhm.
departure, and here ang sa I mean departure, and then this one is the arrival buses. So kanang sa kani nga layout, sir, kay giusa ra nako ang bus loading and unloading area with the bus waiting area nga unused because to save space for open spaces, because even though this is the back part of the site, I also want this to be to become an open space pod here. And also sa Radisson Hotel na side, sir, sa right side, kay I consider it also a back of the house nga part for maintenance area para like in this part kay may use siya for maintenance area and mga resting area sa mga drivers and conductors, sir. As
Okay.
well as magamit po siya sa mga transit buses or kanang taxi. Ang resting area diri ra sa bus drivers. Jud.
So additional jeepney parking ni siya there sa Radisson site.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay. So you don't need to explain it as detailed. Go to the scheme 2.
Sa scheme 2, sir, sa scheme 2 kay duha siya ka wings, sir, kanang two building massing to separate the kanang arrival area and the departure area. Although sa departure area kay kanang I decided to locate all my spaces here because this is where people buy tickets and mostly resting, and then the arrival area kay kanang they arrive and they leave diretso, sir, so I only have a waiting area here and transit buses or transit buses here para diretso ra pud sila, sir, if they want to commute within the city. And
Okay.
access is in the Bayfront Hotel, Bayfront Hotel, the 30-meter road. I can pronounce this.
Sige. So immediately, I think it's very clear na scheme 1 is the better one. Okay, scheme 2 looks so katag.
Yeah.
So go to your scheme 1. I think, is that also your preferred scheme?
Yes, sir, because I think it's more organized.
Yeah, much more developed, would say. So I'll take this. I'll just add some notes here for your one. This is one, all right? One. So these are some notes for the preliminary design. I'll share my screen. So far, so good. This is also, I think, the first time that in our class we have this kanang murag T-shaped na layout sa parking. And I think it's very advantageous for, what do you call this, the pedestrians, the passengers, even though it equates to a lot of roads. Pero because it's so kind of convenient, I'll give it a pass. Okay. So just to make sure I understood your design. So pedestrians enter here.
Yes, sir.
And this is the terminal space, like the ticketing, concessions, etc. And they come out here.
Yes, sir.
And then they either go to wherever the departure and arrival is. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So it's good that it flows like this. And then this one, okay, so they enter through here and then go out like that.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, and there's also a feature expansion here because you can just do like I said, another sort of parking area like that maybe, and this can be like a road. So this can be another like terminal wing, and maybe in this area you can have something similar, like where you can have another like terminal wing like this. Where the problem is you have to add a crossing like that to connect them. So this is a very good layout, and like it kind of reminds me of an airport, which makes sense because the terminal is basically an airport with buses. So let's hear. That's pretty much it. Just develop here. Maybe again, the favorite example of our class is like a Subu Mercado here. And maybe this one. What is this here?
Sa kanang bold no part, sir, kay employee nga parking.
Okay.
Yes, kanang part considered i-consider na as back of the house.
Okay, and then
ara mo enter ang employee.
Ang dili bold na part, regular parking lang. Okay, regular parking. And then what's this one?
Transit buses or PUVs.
Jeepney.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then here is, are they going this way?
Yes, sir. Both private vehicles and taxi, sir.
So gonna siya private vehicle parking, they go here.
Ano siya, sir, kanang taxi na, sir, sa kanang
taxi na parking. And this is the private vehicle parking.
Yeah.
Okay, and they are, what is this two-way here?
That's for the transit buses. So nag-share sila road sa private vehicle o transit bus. Although different ilahang exit.
Okay. So this might be a bit of a conflict here. Okay, you have private vehicles coming in, you have PPs coming in. They also go out the same way. So you define lang na siya. Or and even if you can't, if you have problems there, you can just remove it entirely. Put like this whole parking space here could be your bus terminal. But since it's already here, you just need to define that. Like this will be a very busy intersection because you have private parking going in and out, you have staff parking going in and out, and then you have jeepneys going in and out. So this needs to be like solved pa because it looks very kind of unfinished, this part. But the rest of the building looks good. You managed to get in the maintenance. I really am impressed with this setup here. That looks good. And then the back of the house area over there. So, okay. More na siya.
Kasi pero kanang like what the others said nga, okay ra nga walay PUV, sir? Is that kanang for reasonable
PUV, because if you go to the site again, I keep closing this, but I keep coming back to it. The SM City, like for our class specifically, because I'm really leaning towards more spaces for people. Because if you go look at SM, just like how many meters away is this? Directions, height. There, measure distance. There to there. Just about 200 meters away, that's about a 5-minute walk. There's already a bus terminal here. Not bus terminal, PUJ terminal. So I'll just zoom in so you can see. So everyone can see. Yep, jeepney terminal is right here. So there's no need for a second one unless you say that you want to provide. So you really have to like solve that. But in your
Yes, sir,
specific
tapos
case,
kanang ay
mhm.
sorry sir.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Kanang nag-think lang guro ko sir nga kanang mag-provide lang og mga drop off og loading and loading and
Yeah, yeah.
unloading area dili lang gyud fully parking space.
Mm. Like for me, for our class, the multimodal aspect of the problem just means like kanang drop off areas. So not exactly parking spaces. So because I really want you guys to explore or think about how kanang people will use the building and use the terminal, not so much how it's just a giant parking area. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, very good. Sorry, I'm gonna rush a bit more. Okay, so that was Owano. Mana si Mercado, no?
Thank you, sir.
Wala pa. Rona, go ahead.
Just to clarify, sir, the one that Beatrice showed, the entrance from the Radisson, isn't that going to have a conflict, sir, if you enter from Radisson and you turn left? Because I've noticed in the Google Maps, sir, there's a barrier between in the concert katong Serious Mania Road.
Or is it like entering here?
Yes, sir. Isn't that
Ah,
that part is one way lang? Yeah, you cannot turn koan kay naay murag I think barrier nga small lang siya but
yes, that could be an issue. Very, yeah, naigi ko, yeah,
kana
there's
siya
this thing. So they can't turn into that. So that's a big issue. So thank you for that, Rona. So this will be a problem for you, Beatrice, or since it's already there, Mampudgot, so it's not very realistic na we ignore this because it's part of architecture to like take note of everything. So with that in mind, it's really impossible for like cars to come in this way. Can I barrier here? So that needs to be considered. So how do we fix this? So,
I was thinking sure kanang answer ba kanang since na minus naman ang parking spaces for the transit for the transit buses or jeepneys or the PUVs pwede na ako siya ma-move down and kanang mo serve na siya as buffer para kanang for the turning radius for the buses who goes in and out of the site.
Alternatively, I just realized that you can do this.
Pwede ra po, sir.
Kajika, because you can use the Kaohsiung Street and the SM Road, and then you can have the back of the house towards Sergio's Menya. So kana, wana kay, you don't need to change anything. Yeah, you can also do this. So it's a good thing that you point out on your own. Otherwise, there might have been problems later down the line. So something like this, or you can like change the orientation. But I think this is the easiest solution. Just have it all enter in the Kaohsiung Street.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, good. Sorry. Vanessa, is your mic okay na?
Hello? I think so, sir.
Sige.
Sorry, sir. Tarugonon.
No problem, no problem. And then, it's already 10:30. So let me just hear Lim, Escuardo, Montalban, and Ong, and Jean. Most likely you'll be starting a bit later, Pajud. Let me see here. Maybe we'll do you guys have what class at 12 or 1 p.m.? Specifically the last five, Gulisao, Ong, Montalban, Escuardo, and Lim. Are they here? Let's see.
Sir?
Yeah, now my class after 1 p.m. or after 12?
I have classes at 2.
2,
Okay,
4.
Pro 1, wala pa.
Wala pa.
So maybe we can reschedule this to like 1 because I don't think we can finish you guys by 12. So, pagsabot lang mo, Gulisaw, Ong, Montalban, Escuardo, and Lim. Yeah, okay ra. You don't need to consult because you already consulted last Monday. Yes. Okay. Vanessa, go ahead.
Wait, hello, sir.
Yes. Currently, black siya na screen. Atura.
Sir, like, bubble diagrams lang jud ako, sir.
Okay ra.
Ako arang gi-focus is ang circulation, sir. Like, ako ang gi-maintain ang kanang iyahang site access, sir, ba sa buses nga diri, like, diri but diri. And sa 12 meters access road and the Kaohsiung Street,
Mhm.
sir. And then, ako ang arrival bay is, like, ako ang vehicular circulation, sir, kay ang bus kay diri siya mukuan. And then, ang exit is sa National Road.
Mhm.
And then, ako ang sa taxi drop off is sa kaning diri sa may SM nga road. Less busy siya for like sa taxi and all. And yeah, like ang first scheme is a bus center design. So ang departure bay is in the center jud, like sa site. Like diri mag-wait for the diri mag-wait ang bus for the departure. And then sa ang scheme 2 is same lang ang site access nga naa sa 12 meter and the 20 meter road. And then ang arrival bay is here in the Kaohsiung Street, and yeah, arrival bay and the departure bay is there, sir.
Mhm.
And so for my scheme to kay na kuan siya, like centralize ang passenger areas, like na siya diri with the amenities and stuff. And ang terminal staff area is somewhere sa corner jud shop para like dili siya ma-access for the public and sir. More, sir.
Okay, ito na nga. I'm just rescheduling here. 1:20. Alauna na gid ang uban. Let me see. So this is scheme 1. Can you zoom out a bit?
Wait, sir.
Okay. I can see the roads here. And what is your scheme 2? Okay. So kana siya. Save. So I do allow bubble diagrams for like schematics, okay? Because it's schematics. It's just that I think excited the mga tao they develop all the way to like floor plans. Excuse me. So let's see here. Excuse me. So between scheme 1 and scheme 2, this is one over here. Red. Wait, am I sharing my screen? Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. Okay. So 1, 2. So Sapphire private parking, taxi. So the key thing here is the entrances are in Kaohsiung Street in scheme 1. And then in scheme 2, the entrance is vehicle only, so scheme 1. Sorry, scheme 2, and then for pedestrians are over here, taxi and private vehicle drop off, taxi and private vehicle drop off. So immediately, I'm not sure asa ang pedestrian entrance.
Like ang kanang violet, sir. Like tupad sa vehicular nga.
Okay, so your pedestrian entrance is here?
Yes, sir. Like ang tupad. Yes, sir.
Okay, why does it directly link to private vehicle parking?
Like Like duha kong pedestrian entrance sir, like dira and sa kanang ubos sir.
Okay, kani?
Yes sir, and sa other like kanang
Dili
sir.
pod.
Yes sir.
Okay. So meaning, so already both schemes are a bit weak because SM is on this side, right?
Yes.
So that's something you need to consider. So SM is here. So your passenger area should be more closer to this side on the upper left or on the, sorry, not left, the right side, closer to the 12-meter access road here. This might, scheme one might be better because it's a bit closer, but like you see that distance, it's telling me you're not considering it to be close. So you're considering like setback away from the 12-meter access road. So make your passenger areas closer there. Your private vehicle parking, as we mentioned before, is not really a priority because like there's already a lot of parking in SM. Departure bay and arrival bay. Yeah, the fact that it's all similar size circles, it's kind of hard to tell how big these things are. So when you do bubble diagrams, try to scale them because like you already seen how big the bus terminals are. So if you have the combined the arrival and like departure bay like this, maybe it won't fit. But yeah, those are the most basic things. The rest will follow. Identify where your passenger or like pedestrian entrance is. I prefer it to be here on the X corner of SM or here on another X, just like across the 12-meter road. And then your vehicle parking will come after, depending on how you lay out your passenger areas. Okay?
Okay sir.
Sige. And then let me see here.
Thank you sir.
Do, 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 do. Asan to? So we're done with ito? So Galleon J, are you here? Hello, Jay, Galleon. How do I remove this? Alternating colors. Remove alternating colors. So we're here. And then this last 5 will probably be moved to 1 p.m. Wala si Galleon J. Rona, do you want to consult?
Okay, sir. For my scheme 1, I made like little change lang.
Okay, sige. So, dili na ka pa-consult.
Ay, kanang sa scheme 1 lang, sir.
Pa-consult. Okay,
Edit lang,
sige.
sir. Okay, sir. Wait, sir.
So again, announcing lang ko na we'll continue the consultations at 1 p.m. for, let's see, Ong, Montalban, Escuardo, and Lim. So I'll just put it here, admit. Ong, Montalban, consultations will start at 1 p.m. Okay. So you guys can leave. Okay, I'm sure you have to eat lunch or whatever. Okay, go ahead, Rona.
So what I've changed lang, sir, kay I took note the one you mentioned nga to put something in here kay murag lako na jud kayo ang area for kanang road, kanang paved na jud kay siya. Then I also changed the direction of my buses into a masyag 30 to 60 degrees nga koan, diagonal para it's easier for the buses to enter this parking area and then backing and go to this Sergio Esmeña Boulevard.
Mhm.
And for this, sir, I've retained my car vehicle and a motorcycle nga parking area just in case nga ng mga staff in the North Bus Terminal kanang magdala sila silang own nga vehicle or naa sila like motorcycle, it would be convenient for them to have a kanang parking space pod, but I'm still kanang debating whether to just fully remove this and make this into an open open space.
Mm.
And I think that's all ra sir ang ako ang gi-change. Then I've also kanang gitangtang to na ako ang murag mga slots for jeepney. Then I've just made one slot lang for like a drop off lang jud for jeepney. Then this could be a drop off area for private vehicles.
Okay, looks good. I just have one note here. This is also for everyone on the class. I'll save this. Rona 1. There's already a Rona 1. De La Peña 1. I'll share my screen. You can turn off your screen. Okay. So whenever you do entrances or designs like this, refresh. Always provide like, okay, still loading. Here we go. So to everyone, this is good that you have, especially katupod sa kay, I forget who was that, who had the T-shaped parking area. Whenever you have multiple entrances like this, always like include your pedestrian lane. So this is good here. Include those. I think wala na copy paste ang symbol here, but maintain that. So the sidewalk experience is preserved and will help like accessibility throughout your whole site, because that's really our main goal here, to design spaces that are not just for vehicles, but really to design for people. So it's good that you have a big pedestrian access here, pedestrian access here as well, but don't forget about the already existing pedestrian access around the site. I know on the Sergio's Mena side, it's not good. That is a very good reason why we need to improve it. And also on the Kaohsiung Street side, it's already pretty okay. A lot of, as we saw earlier, a lot of taxis are parking here. So moving them inside might be a good idea. And maybe instead of like 90-degree parking, maybe you could have parallel parking, so it's easier for them to move out, and you can reduce the width here. Parallel parking lang siya. So you can have even more green open space over there. Okay. So those are my notes, Ron. I think your mic is not working. Hello? Or is my internet connection dead? Nakuha ra, Rona? Hello? Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Tora, go. Did you see? Yeah.
It seems like my Chrome is lagging, sir. Maybe akong internet connection. Yeah, nakuha ra nako, sir.
Okay, good. Sige, sige. So next, after Rona, we have Paul Christine.
Good morning, sir.
Good
I'll share my
morning.
screen.
Sige, go ahead.
Actually, sir, the schemes I showed you pag Holy Week, I scrapped all of them. So yeah. Well, answer. The reason why is I asked actually just for all of my schemes, sir, I followed actually my mom's advice, and she told me because she drives a lot, man, and she told me it would be better to have this one as the 30-meter road as an entrance because the bus since this is the north bus terminal and this is the general direction of the north, I would think na they would have direct access to the terminal na, so it would just be like they'll go here and then yeah, they have direct access there, and then for all of my schemes that's where my exit is at the 20-meter road because they have an opportunity to go to rejoin the road where it would lead to the north area, to the north part of Cebu. So mauna, sir. So for my first scheme, sir, like I said, sir, yeah, the entrance is here, and I added like a sort of buffer here so that the buses can slow down and like they separate from the main traffic at least when they enter the terminal area so that they won't like disrupt traffic. Because I watched some of the videos you sent, and I noticed like a lot of buses like to line up along the road. So that's why I just provided this so that they won't disrupt the traffic, the main traffic, lang when they do that. And
Mhm.
then my main objective for this was to have like the building sort of enclose the arrival and departure bay, because I want the people arriving from the bus to have direct access to the amenities within the building, sir. And
Good.
that's why it's
That's
sort of
correct.
like this. So it's an L shape. And then yeah, basically I also wanted to have a direct, very straightforward flow of traffic. So it's just like that. One problem I guess I'll say from here is that I noticed lang sir that the bus here would have to back and like would re-enter the main road. So I think I have to recorrect that if
Mhm.
I use this scheme. And also for the idle bus parking, like they might disrupt the traffic. But I did make sure the road was wide enough to accommodate at least two buses. So it's like 10-meter roads.
Mhm.
Next, I provided the pedestrian access through here, lang sir. I actually made this sort of before I checked one of your videos, and I realized later na most of the pedestrian is going here, entering here than there. So that's the problem lang. I didn't think
Yeah,
about that
okay.
at
You
first.
can just flip the user parking with the open space.
Yes, sir. If I use this, and yeah, so this is my pedestrian entrance. So also for all of my schemes, sir, I made sure to separate the bus and sort of the pedestrian so that um I don't know, it was in our planning. One of the principles was to hide the ugly or something, and for this I'm considering the bus part the ugly. I don't think it's ugly, but it's just like maybe it would be better if they see a park first.
Yeah.
The pedestrians look at the park first instead of the bus terminals.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's my principle for this. And yeah, sir, that's like mostly it. I also was unable to provide jeepney spaces, but I provided a taxi loading and unloading area here. And also, sir, for my pedestrian, the reason why I added open space here is so that people, in case there are people who are coming from here, they can like go here and like maybe they can add stalls here or something, so they can be
Yeah.
accommodated. So that's mostly it, sir, for this
Okay,
scheme.
good.
I'm just gonna try to
And
speed
scheme
through it.
two.
Scheme two is basically somewhat of an edit of my first scheme, but like I tried to minimize the bus pavement, I suppose. Yeah, so it's just here lang sir, because in the other one there's like a lot more space for the bus to move. And here I also expanded the open space. So here it's just the open spaces are concentrated na lang on the SM side, since from your video and what you said, sir, most of the people will be coming from there. And I also tried to, as much as possible, like you told me, to minimize the pedestrian and vehicle like intersection, like they won't intersect ayo. So that was my principle for this. So at least, so since there's more open spaces, the people can just go here, and there's not much crossing inside the terminal area, Jude. So they can just like go here to the open space and go to the building footprint here. And same with the bus. The bus follows a generally straightforward flow sud, so they can just load
Mm.
there and
Mm.
like there and then exit here. For this, I think it's better since it's closer to the. I didn't get to include it, but there's a road somewhere here, and it does have a traffic flow that goes to the north area. So that was why
Mm. Na
I kind of
intersection, yeah.
like that this one. Yeah, that's why it exits closer there. Also, sir, for this I also included more multimodal feeder base. Basically, I have a jeepney stand here and a taxi stand there. It's inside lang. And I was also able to provide a staff parking, and it's already close to the building, so this would be my service entrance. And since there's also space, like I could add more bus parking. The problem here lang, so I think the road is too narrow. Since both of these are sharing a single roads, I can make it bigger lang if ever. And that the jeepney stand, the people from the jeepney stand, they kind of have to cross by here and then go there.
Yeah,
So
that's a bit. Anyway, That's good. Let me look at scheme 1 again.
Yeah. I actually have one more scheme, sir.
Okay,
But
scheme
I
3.
don't.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I do, but I think I like the first two schemes more. I'll just discuss this. So, my last scheme is basically my attempt at using the 20-meter road for a frontage, but I still following the same principles. It has the bus has a direct flow. I think the bus circulation is more prioritized here when I was making it. So you'll just go there for the arrival day, and then they can go directly into the service garage here, and they'll turn into the idle bus parking and such. And the problem I think with this is that the pedestrians have to cross, but to cross the bus
Hmm.
entry, like exit, to get to the actual building. And but one benefit I think is that there's more open space here. There's like a really large open space. So since most of the people will be coming from SM and said, so that's why they can just there's more I can add more stuff to do for them here. And yeah, that's there. Sorry, it was
Okay.
just quick, sir.
Okay, hold it here. There are some good ideas here in scheme 3 as well, and maybe we can combine all three to get like a very good design. Go to 1.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Save. Okay, I'll share my screen. You can stop sharing your screen for it won't eat up your bandwidth.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And so there are 3. Fresh. Okay, something like that. That's a bit smaller. Like that. And then the third one. Okay. Okay. So between the 3, let's see. I think 1 is really the most practical, but there are elements of 2 and 3 that we could use to develop scheme 1. I mean, okay. Let's see here. I like how in what they call the scheme 2, the parking is just adjacent the open space here in the middle. So maybe instead of having, yeah, because like we want to flip, move this open space here. So this will be a green park here. And maybe instead of like 90-degree parking, you could have what they call this. Yeah, maybe what do you call this? Let me change my colors here. You can have parallel parking along this road instead, so you can keep both open space. In scheme 3, let me see here, kind of like similar to what's going on here with scheme 1. Try to see if you really need all of this building footprint. Maybe the building footprint could merge into the terminal area. So you can have like this wide park here looks very interesting. And also will allow you for like because you really want the parking space there. But for me, you don't even need that because I'm really more focused on the pedestrians. So stick with scheme 1, but like develop the front, like try to do the same frontage in both schemes 2 and 3 and apply that to your scheme 1, because like the frontage here could be developed further, could be similar to your scheme 2 and 3. And then what we call this, jeepney stands here or taxi stands in scheme 2 and 3 could also be applied here sa Bayfront Hotel na Road in scheme 1. Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking about. I thought that I could put a jeepney stand on the last side, so I just didn't get to put it, I guess.
Yeah, no problem. So just like ideas for development. So mas clear na yung direction for preliminary. So add your jeepney stands from scheme 2 and 3, and then sort of try to imitate your open space area here with the parking. If you really want to continue with the parking, over here in your building footprint. And also check lang because the jeepney arrival and departure bays need to be covered. Check how much of your building footprint can move closer to the bus unloading and loading area. So maybe more reduce the ang front, your building footprint will move closer here. Plus you can add like a covered walkway here. Okay.
Okay, so can I share my screen? I had an idea like how to deal with the problems of the scheme, I guess.
Sige, go ahead.
Uh, my idea was that I would tang this thing na lang, and then like I'd move the entire building here to the side, and then basically the departure bay would just be like sort of a covered open area. So this would allow me to increase the open space to be like here. Oops, wait.
Yep.
And just basta like sir, I'll just increase the open space here so that since I will remove this area naman, and then yeah, I'll integrate the parallel parking like you said, and then I'll add the jeepney stand here, sir.
That's better. Yes, do that.
Okay, sir. So I think that's it, sir.
Yep, no problem. Good. And
Thank you, sir.
then you're welcome. Let's see here. Next we have Omo. Hannah.
Yes, sir.
Yep, go ahead. Share your screen when you're ready.
Kita na, sir.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So both schemes na ko, sir, for scheme 1 and scheme 2 has the open spaces adjacent to SMCT. Since I also assume that pedestrians will mostly come from here, kay ang PUV of ang Bihar terminal kay na-situate man sa SMCT. So scheme 1 will utilize the Serios Menya Boulevard as its ingress and the Kaohsiung Street as its egress point. I wanted to eliminate vehicular traffic conflict by situating entry of Serios Menya as it is adjacent to the traffic flow also, and it will exit on Kaohsiung Street as it is more convenient, and since ang road sa bus kay padung man sa north. So in both my schemes, I made it a point also that the unloading bay will be efficient and convenient for alighting passengers. Speaking from experience also, sir, usually the bus will just drop you off in the middle of the terminal with nothing to protect you from various variables such as rain or heat. And most of the time, kanang naa sa tunga-tunga ka i-drop, sir. So kanang mag-conflict ka sa buses kay kanang maglabang-labang pa ka. So it may be unsafe also, sir. And
Very good. Correct.
so one of my objectives is to segregate pedestrian flow and vehicular movement. With this, I also want to make it as convenient for alighting passengers since kay papoy na gikan sa biyahe po, sir, ba. So I want it to be convenient for them. So scheme 1 utilizes parallel loading, and its strengths are the efficient flow of vehicular movement from unloading to loading, and then efficient alighting of passengers as buses unload adjacent to unloading bays that secures the passengers from the hassle of crossing a road where vehicles and pedestrian cross paths. And it is less car-centric, so more open space as it utilizes the existing access roads also here. And the weakness of the scheme, alighting passengers from unloading bays and boarding passengers may meet at one point here sa kining red, sir, which may cause a mix of their flows, especially pertaining the pickup and drop-off. Possible traffic may concentrate at only one point. Second is boarding passengers will have to cross lanes in order to get to the loading bays here, which may be a hassle on their part, and also parallel double lane loading may require excessive space. So dili pa ni siya kanang skilled, sir. So nag-assume lang ko nga maybe mag-require siya a lot of space.
Yep, correct. Yep. Sige.
And then moving on, yes, sir. Okay. Moving on to Scheme 2, ang concept is anchored on efficiency and control in mixing contrasting passenger type, the alighting and the boarding passengers. It is designed to offer the maximum efficiency and convenience for both passenger type. It utilizes a space inside the site for different feeder modes that ensures a conflict-free circulation and ease of passengers. This creates the impression that the journey is continuous. It also focuses on only one relatively less traffic Kaohsiung Street for exit and entry. Pero I think gi-clarify man ni mo ganiya sir nga Kaohsiung Street is actually more busy po. So anyways, strands of the schemes, simple and efficient flow of vehicular movement sa bus from unloading to loading, efficient alighting of passengers as buses unload, buses unload adjacent to unloading bays that secures the passengers from the hassle of crossing a road where vehicles and pedestrians cross paths, and efficient pickup of alighting passengers from unloading bays as it is here sir sa Orange Port, directly adjacent to a street where a taxi or private vehicle may pick them up, reducing the hassle of them walking to a further pickup point in the terminal. This way, it also segregates the contrasting flow of alighting passengers here and the boarding passengers here sa kining drop-off point sa the Pizza Red Sun Blue. So this will, I assume that this will prevent crowding also, sir, and avoids a concentration of pedestrians at only a single point. Weaknesses of the scheme, it may be considered more car-centric than Scheme 1. Scheme 1 may be a bit blocked from Sirius Menu Junior Boulevard's viewpoint as a bus terminal that may compromise its identifiability for non-locals visiting Cebu. The point of entry being in Kaohsiung Street as well as the exit point on the same street may create traffic conflict, but since you clarify na din siya, sir. So,
Yep.
so
Sige. Okay, good. So I appreciate that I really appreciate the hand-drawn site plans. Let me get Scheme 1 very quickly. I'll give you my notes on both schemes. Hang on, save Scheme 1. Okay, I'll share my screen. Yeah, please close your screen para dili kayo bounce sa bandwidth. Okay. So I like this. I like this like parallel sort of parallel parking na setup sa loading and unloading bays. I think the only other one who did this was I really forget the name na the one earlier na parallel pod. So let's see, share. I like this part of Scheme 1 here, the loading and unloading bays. 45-degree here doesn't look as efficient because you have to enter here and then you have to like park like this. But this one, you enter through the less busy road, which is Sergio's Menu, which is correct. And then they enter this way, they go out that way to Kaohsiung Street. And as stated earlier, one of the students mentioned that Kaohsiung Street lets them go directly to their route. So this is also a good thing for Scheme 1. So the only challenge here in Scheme 1 is how do we connect these bays like this? So very easily you can use raised crosswalks, connect them. So we're raised crosswalks in the middle like this. And then it's a good idea to have the parks here. So the only weakness of Scheme 1 is really this area. So my suggestion would be maybe we could combine something like this from Scheme 2 into Scheme 1 over here. So basically, let me see if I can copy this. Control-C, Control-V. And I need to rasterize it. Control-C, Control-V. I'm on the wrong layer. It's this one. Rasterize. So Control-C, Control-V. And then I'll put that over here. Not so much the building part, but the access part here. Okay, maybe something like that. And of course, give it a bit of landscaping. Maybe something like this. Yeah, put that over there. So you don't have that problem with the intersecting uses over there. And then you can convert this part here instead of like a road disconnecting Radisson Blue. It can help also connect Radisson Blue, something like that. Sabot ra?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you have all the benefits of Scheme 1 and the benefits of Scheme 2, which is like this area here. Okay, kana lang. And
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
looks very good. So, yeah. And then, yeah, sige. I won't dilly-dally. What else? So, Manas Yomo, D. Patrick, are you here?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Sige, so I'm a bit rushing because I want to get through all the students. And Katong, the others will come back at 1 p.m. because I want to take lunch.
Makita ra akong screen, sir.
Okay, Tara.
Okay, so for my first scheme, sir, I focus more on pedestrian accessibility. So as you can see, like the building footprint is closer to the 12-meter access road. I also provided more pedestrian entrances along the 12-meter access road near SM, and also provided a central open space that has the potential to like house maybe like a feature in the center, like maybe a monument or a fountain. And then there's also this future expansion space here beside the building. It can be, and if dili ko expand ang building, it can be used as like a flexible open space like atong pinasugbo mercado like you mentioned also, sir. And then to the left side, there is a parking space for staff lang, sir. I'm planning like the the like the guests, they can just use SM since dako kayong parking there, and I think it's more beneficial for the guests to just have a drop-off area since I don't think they'll be bringing vehicles to the bus terminal kaayo based on my experience from riding sa South Bus Terminal. Like wala kayo parking good for guests. And then for the bus entry and exit, sir, the bus will enter sa 30-meter road because I just tried to maintain the existing entrance and exit points sa bus. So they enter sa 30-meter road and then they go to the arrival bay. And then from the arrival bay, the passengers can get off from this bay and transition like directly to the arrival pickup area where the feeder bay is. So this is where like the pickup areas will be for mga taxis or private vehicles that will pick up passengers from the arrival bay, and then like it can give them a sense of like a continuous like transfer along with their like traveling experience. Like they don't have to cross anywhere, just have to go here and then they can continue on with like their journey to like the city or something. And then for here, the departure bay is attached closer to the building since I think the departure terminal will be here inside the building and passengers can just go directly to departure bay. And then I also forgot to mention, there's also a service garage here, and then the bus maintenance staff area is also beside the building in case kung expand ang building kay murag ma-in-one na siya with the bus maintenance staff also with like the other spaces of building maybe in this side if we expand na siya.
Okay.
And then the buses will exit here sa 20-meter road para largo na to the north. Like I think mas favorable to the northern road if you exit sa 20-meter road compared to 30 meters kay tungod atong island there is a ibabaw like
yes, correct.
Very hard for the buses. I think they have to make a U-turn somewhere very far. It will like waste time also for them. Yeah. So that's it for my scheme 1, sir. And then scheme 2, it's like more focused, I guess, on efficiency, but I think it's more vehicular centric on scheme 2 since my building footprint now is in the middle, and there's also roads surrounding it for the buses. Okay, the entrance and exit to scheme 2 is along the 20-meter road for mostly all vehicles. So the bus enters here, so 20-meter road, and they go to the arrival bay, and same concepts here from the arrival. Okay, they go to the arrival pickup area. Only difference here, sir, kay mas dako na ang feeder bay also for the multimodal like pickups sa mga taxi or private vehicles. And then so the buses enter here and then they circle they like more tuyok here with like the service garage here on the top. They can also park here in case they need maintenance, and they tuyok here to the departure, so more like layo siya gamay. And then there is I also tried to provide more pedestrian entrances. Like I tried my best to provide pedestrian entrances here in the scheme. Like I considering they'll enter mostly here, so I'm not gonna create a walkway that will lead to the building, but it's kinda indirect compared to scheme 1 kay murag layo, medyo layo ang building, like murag dili jud ang frontage niya na there is a pabor sa pedestrian, and also provided some walkways, but they're kind of far. The building's really far, like the entrance here, like also provided mga walkways going to the building, but it's kind of far, and also provided some open spaces here in the front, and also staff parking here in the middle, and then the drop off kay mo circle or pod. So I still kanang separated the circulation for vehicles and the mga buses. Pero I think the scheme is just focused more like on vehicular efficiency, like any tuyok-tuyok
Yeah,
nila. They
the
want them to
traffic
get
movement is a
confused.
lot better.
Yeah,
Sige.
and then
Okay.
yeah, that's it.
Sige, let me look at scheme 1 again. Okay, let me screenshot that. Save the one. Okay, I'll share my screen. You can stop sharing for delete mo kaon sa bandwidth.
Okay, sir.
Okay, let me open that over here. So, hopefully, our next batch will be at 1 p.m. Makita ninyo ang advantage of having two schemes because you can compare and contrast. You saw scheme 1 could help create a better scheme 2 and vice versa. So this is really the advantage of doing multiple schemes. Let me see here. D2. Now for your case specifically, scheme 1 is already the stronger one because again, our goal here is accessibility for passengers. But there are still some good elements in scheme 2 that we can probably import into scheme 1. Let me see here. Unsa ni siya na area kani? I wasn't so clear on this. Kani siya na area po, Patrick?
Most likely staff parking, sir.
Staff parking. Okay. So it's here sa kuan. It's actually better good sa scheme 1. I guess what we can learn from this is if you if you have the entrances on Kaohsiung Street and having the building in the middle, it really makes it hard for pedestrians to access. So it seems like after our discussion since 8 a.m., it's really impossible to sort of combine vehicle movement and pedestrian movement in a way where it favors both of them. We really have to sacrifice one or the other. So this is just like a general lesson for everyone. Now, if we want it to become a really accessible building according to our design problem here, we really have to sacrifice vehicle efficiency because again, we're still designing for vehicles, but our main goal is to design for people. So that's your accessibility, barrier-free, convenient for for me anyway, for our class specifically, pedestrians. So let me see here. Yeah, scheme 2 is just a weaker version of scheme 1. Pero the cool thing here is that it's if you somehow find a way to start in the building footprint, you can easily access the bus terminals. Okay, but anyway, I really think scheme 1 is the best scheme for you. The next thing I want for you to develop is so the pedestrians are coming in here. They have like a nice park to go through. The next thing here is how do we connect the two bays? So maybe you'll need some kind of walkway here or some kind of walkway maybe here, either or.
And I actually have a walkway there, sir, sa kilid. Kanang murag ni L.
There's a kilid. Okay, so it's a bit far. Diba, layo?
Layo siya. Murag, I think my intention here is I don't really like the arrival people to pass through the building to lessen the foot traffic inside the building. I kinda just want them to diretso na lang sa feeder bay and maybe go home na sila or
okay.
something.
But yep. So ang issue there is maybe some of them do want to go to SM. So maybe an extra arrival, an extra sort of pedestrian crossing, race crossing would be good here. Maybe you'll sacrifice one service area in the parking so you can have that access.
Okay, sir.
And maintenance area, Manino?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, maybe they'll just make a turn here, or maybe you can put the maintenance area a bit. Okay, you're minusing one bus mo put. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So scheme 1 I think is very solid already. You don't need to make much changes. The next thing I want you to consider is how will this thing be sheltered or roofed?
I was planning covered walkway bito, sir, dapit for the arrival and also the feeder dapit para they can just para it's comfortable for them to walk lang.
Yeah.
Also, in the
and
open space there's a left, sir, kaya I'm planning to maybe add mga food stalls, also more waiting areas in case they want to sit down or like relax sila.
yeah,
Rather
so
kay stressful. So.
yeah, so the shelter will probably look something like this, Marshag na shape, Anna, just to help cover the pedestrians walking towards the bus, and like if there are people from the building who will go to the arrival bay or like something like that, but most likely they'll just stay to the departure bay. But it's good to have that accessibility there. Also, this walkway here should be covered as well, and this will be like a major sort of contributor to your building form, how you define the roof. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So scheme one is very solid already. Not much corrections to be made.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Sige.
Ako lang question lang, sir. For like, when we develop the floor plans inside the building, sir, would you prefer like there's an escalator inside since 2 stories siya? Or would stairs be like okay lang, sir? Or mas nindot yun na escalator inside or something?
For me, the state of the art doesn't mean you put all the technologies in. We can still be a bit practical. Okay, lain mo put 1 story na escalator, magsayang lang sa kuryente.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, it's only 2 stories, just make it stairs. And then,
Okay,
yep, so mag-lunch breaks ako because I'm really
Thank you,
hungry. I
sir.
thought I could work all the way to 12, pero di ko makaya. So those others already told them to come back at 1 p.m. Ong, Montalban, Escuardo, and Lim. I know Lim is here, but Digimada, I need to break for lunch and I'll meet you at 1 p.m. again. Di na kaya sa kong powers. So stop recording here.